Okay, we're going to graph the equation of a line given the slope and a point. To start that, I'm going to use my slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Remember, it's termed slope-intercept because m represents the slope and b is the y-intercept. That's where it crosses the y-axis. So I already know one part. I know that the 1 here goes to my slope. And I need to find b. Now I can't solve for 3 unknown variables, y, x, and b. However, they do give me a coordinate here. And in every coordinate, there's a value for x and a value for y. So by substituting those known values in for the x and the y, I can solve for the 1 unknown variable b and write my equation. So we started out by substituting. So y, that's the 0, is equal to m, my 1, times x, I'm using the coordinate here, 4, plus b. I draw my line down the equal sign, and 0 equals 4 times 1 plus b. Now, b is the only unknown quantity here. I need to isolate it in order to solve for it. So to do that, I just subtract 4 from both sides. And on the left, I'm left with negative 4 equals, and on the right, I simply have b. So I've now solved for b, the y-intercept. And I can now write my equation. Y equals 1x, or simply x minus 4. And that's the equation of my line that has a slope of 1 and passes through the point 4, 0. Let's try another example here. Instead of getting the slope in a point, I'm now just given 2 coordinates. So I'll have to find the slope first. So this requires an extra step. I'm going to begin by labeling my points. We're going to call this x1, y1, and this will be x2, y2. Now remember, your slope formula is equal to the change in y over the change in x, commonly written like this using the delta symbol. And I replace values here. Now the change in y is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. These mean the same thing. Change in y, the change in y, the difference. So when I replace the values here with what I've labeled, I have y2, that's 15, minus y1, which is 5, over negative 3 minus 2. 15 less 5, that's 10. Negative 3 minus 2 more is negative 5. And I simplify 10 over negative 5 is negative 2. So now I know that m, my slope, is equal to negative 2. Now I do the same thing as before. I'll pick one of my coordinates. I'm going to work with the first one here, and I substitute in for x and y into the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So y, let me substitute, the y value here, 5, is equal to my newly found m, the slope, negative 2, times x, the x value I'm using here is the coordinate 2, plus b. I only have one unknown variable, and I can solve for that. So I now have 5 equals negative 2 times 2, that's minus 4, plus b. And in order to solve, I add 4 to both sides. And I'm left with 9 is equal to b. Now I found my intercept. So now I can write the equation for the line that passes through these 2 points. Y equals negative 2x plus 9.